fellow flyers? I'm back again, and looking at all the numbers, looks like I'm doing an okay job here. Here on FPV RAW, I'm going to give you my personal take. I'll be your host here, Ruben Hadege, and these are just going to be my experiences and my take on this whole hobby, on all this hoopla that's going around, and all this shenanigans that we're seeing on the interwebs, internet, and YouTube and all that good stuff. So I'm going to try to kind of give you my personal take. Whether it be good or bad, it doesn't matter, but it's all going to be for fun. I want you guys to sit back and enjoy this little segment of, I don't know what it is. It's just, it's this podcast here. It's just, a small little segment out of your day. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you don't, then, no big deal. I just want to make sure I touch on these subjects. And see, I'm trying to knock all these subjects out of the way and just get them done. That way we can move on to all the good stuff, all the fun stuff. And mainly the beginning section of it is going to be, towards the new flyer, the guy just curious, or the person that just doesn't know what the hobby's about. So maybe I can fill them in as best I can, and shed some light on the subject. So without further ado, we're gonna crack this episode open. I think I'm gonna go to controllers. Your remotes, your transmitters. I think I'm gonna touch on that, and this is gonna be my personal experience, as a learner, as a kind of a noob to where I'm at right now, where I'm like still a semi noob. Just get a little bit better, and I'm hopefully I can kind of fill in the void of people who don't really know. Maybe they can find a remote that's really versatile. And that's what it's all about, is having a remote that when you start out with, or a transmitter, when you start out, it's something that'll grow with you. Because a lot of the remotes that are out there, we're seeing them online, and they're saying that this is the new biggest thing, and you need it. But for me, I'm not that. I kind of want to bypass all that stuff, because to me it's bullshit. I don't really like it. And, I like, for what it works for what I need, the remote that I have and that I've kind of stuck with works really good. Yes, I do see a lot of remotes out there that are pretty cool. They look good, and they're kind of an upgrade. But the existing remote that I currently use is still, damn strong, totally versatile, upgradable. And if something happens to it, it's very easy to replace parts on it. So which is kind of cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and start out with something that I think some of us, back in the day, starting out, there was a remote that was an entry level, but it's still, the mainstream has had it for a while. It's the Spectrum remotes. And, right now, currently, you're going to see them populating the media, populating the social, internet, all the pros are going to be holding them and showing them off. It's only because the businesses are giving them out, to test out and to use for free, or they're giving them a deal. They're like, hey, you use my product, go do it, and you should buy it. But that's not always the case, because that remote for what I do and what I specialize is wings, and it's not really that versatile for me. And this is all my take here. But even starting out as a greenhorn, as a noob, developing what worked for me and what didn't, is that the remote I had was a DX6. Now this is years ago, when it was like the only remote out there that I knew about. I didn't know about Hobby King. I just knew about my local hobby shop. So I didn't know, and so I bought a DX6, and that was like the thing, and it worked. It did what I needed to do, and it was functional. I think you can only have like 10 models in there, which kind of sucked. Very limited. and it was very cheap plastic. It was just cheap and plasticky. So it was kind of crap. But I used it for the amount of time where I finally learned and got it all down. So I used it. I learned with it. And then I developed, or I discovered, I should say, the Hobby King. And Hobby King's been around for quite some time. They've been getting in the market when it first started, and they've been pushing their products out there, and they've developed another remote by Turnigy. And Turnigy is another smaller company below Hobby King. I think they own it. This is all thoughts. They think they own it, so it's another brand that they own. So it's a Turnigy brand. They make products, and then you have the main company, Hobby King, and then they developed the Turnigy the 9X, and that was back in the day, and that was my upgraded remote, because you can put more models on there. Yes, it was dirt cheap, but I knew that the models, I had more models there. I had the module in the back was swappable, so I could put different modules in there. So I no longer needed the Spectrum DX6 standalone remote, because you couldn't upgrade it. You couldn't do anything. It was just a remote. That was it. And it was pretty expensive. So what I did was I bought the modules. They were the orange RX, and Hobby King basically cloned or made their own 2.4 that was able to mimic the Spectrum frequency, which was nice. So you just bought the remote, and then all my Spectrum remote receivers all worked very nicely, because I went from a remote that couldn't be upgraded and you couldn't use modules. It was dedicated to its own. Had dropout issues. It was expensive. The receivers were expensive. And then Hobby King had these remotes here that were Turnigy, that were cheap, versatile, a lot more inexpensive in terms of or in comparison to the Spectrum. So it was very nice. So having that as a nice incentive, and to kind of build my confidence as a purchase, as a buyer, as a consumer, purchasing a remote that was versatile was very key. And I knew that, if I wanted to try different transmitters or whatever that was out there, I knew I can adapt to it. So it was, to me, that was very nice. I kind of bypassed the functionality of it, because it was cheap, it was plastic, and I was like, okay, it was cheap, it's versatile though, I can do all these things to it, and it's not that big a deal. So it was kind of nice to start out that way. And then the cool thing about the remote that I learned is that there was a lot more videos online of how to tweak it, or how to set up a certain other modules to it. So it was pretty nice. There was a lot of information on it. The Spectrum, there wasn't. Again, it was you had to send it back to the hobby shop or the manufacturer, and then they're going to fuck with it, and then it's just going to be weeks with you without having a remote. So it's like, screw that. I just bypassed that and did the 9X. So I had my fun with that. That was nice. I got a Dragon Link. I was playing with that for a while. The Dragon Link is a long range system. That was when I kind of stepped into the long range realm. I still am. I still have it. And then I noticed that it was just really easy to set up in terms of hooking up to the back. And then if I didn't want Dragon Link, I can just pull the system off and then slap in the Hobby King Orange RX system in there. They had the 2.4, and they still do. I still have it, believe it or not. I had the 2.4 Orange. That was like a Spectrum. It worked with all the Spectrum receivers. So I had that, and then I bought the 433 megahertz module in the back. and it was cool. Like it worked really nice. After understanding that, they had a different. They upgraded the 9X to the 9XR, which was kind of it was nice. It had nice features on it. It was all chromed out. It was blingy, a little sleeker buttons. Functionality wise, it was fine. A little bit bigger, but it was cool. It did what it was supposed to do. And it was nice. It had the same features as the 9X, but they called it the 9XR, and it was a little bit more. It wasn't too bad, but it was good. I learned that I could still utilize all the functions without breaking the bank, and that's what it's all about. Especially starting out with you new guys who don't know or who don't know where to go in terms of starting out. And this is key. This is very key, because once you have the understanding of what you want in a remote, then you can upgrade and then make your final purchase. So a lot of this is going to be towards just getting started. The remote from there, I kind of acquired some JR remotes. They were old. They were the FM modules, the crystals in the back. They were the FM modules, but they had the module adapter in the back, which was really, really nice and slick. So even back then, they were ahead of the game. So that feature was nice. I played with that JR with a different model, and then used the features of the FR Sky system, and that was before they actually had the Tyrannus. So I had the module in the 9X or the 9XR, and then I used the FR Sky module in the 9X, which is kind of it's confusing. So I'm gonna there's a lot of brands out there. There's believe it or not, there's Fly Sky and there's FR Sky or Free Sky. So there's two brands out there that are very similar. They kind of copied each other. The thing about China is that they copy each other. They're like you almost think about cannibalism, and that's what they do over there. No disrespect though, but I'm just I'm trying to give everyone a perspective of how it works and how the business is in the hobby, especially Chinese manufacturers. They're fucking furious about, or they're just fucking crazy ass motherfuckers, because they just clone shit, make it cheaper and cheaper, and then that's how they fuck the game out. And they just basically they have to go cheaper, and then they lose their ass. So it's a funny cycle. It's a very, very funny type of animal of how it's ran over there. So it's funny. So I'm just speaking the truth. That's just how it fucking works. I notice that every time I see a new product, you wait a little bit, and then there's the exact same fucking clone, and you're like, what the fuck? I should have just waited. So that's the kind of the process that what I look at now. So when I see remotes, I just wait a little bit, and then there's a better one. So it's funny. So then I had I was kind of a little side trip, but I'm hoping you guys understand that what's out there. So don't just buy name brand. Just keep your eyes open. If you have a budget, understand that, and that's what I'm gonna try to do for you guys, so I can help. So there's nobody sponsor me again. Nobody sponsoring me. I'm my own company, SweepwingsRC. I sell flying wing kits. So that's my specialty. I just sell kits. That's all I sell. I do custom builds. If asked, I usually give you a quote, and some people don't, they never respond back because they're like, fuck that, it's too expensive. But you got to keep in mind, I'm sitting down and I'm building your ass a wing. So that's why it's expensive. So you gotta account for my time sitting down, me doing nothing. But I could be doing other things, like I could be building my own shit. But it said, that's why it's expensive, because I'm building yo shit. So and another sidetrack. But if it sounds like I'm pushing a company, I'm not really pushing a company. That's the company that I use. And that's what a company that I've learned to save money on, even though they're sleazeballs. But I just, you save money to adapt, to use that money into another project or another aspect or extra parts or extra whatever. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that helps. I'm hoping that sticks to the wall out there. But, the remotes, the FR Sky and the Fly Sky are kind of like hand in hand. So just keep that in mind when you're looking. There are other remotes that are out there that will do the same thing. So just keep that in mind. You want something that's going to work for you, where because you're going to be buying a bunch of models here, bunch of aircraft. So you want to buy cheap RXs and about the $30 range for the FR Sky systems, which is pretty reasonable. It's not bad. It's better than the Spectrum $50 to $60 ones. Then you got to buy a satellite receiver. Fuck all that. You don't need it. FR Sky, or Free Sky, however you pronounce it, works really good. I've owned the orange RXs, and they've kind of, they've cloned the Spectrum RXs, but, I was getting so many fucking dropouts. I literally gave my remote away. I sold it, but I was like, here, just fucking take it. It was I was done with it. And even to this day, 2017, from when I started from 2012, 2013, when I first got it, I was still getting dropouts. I was getting dropouts left and right, or brownouts, or just dropouts in certain areas in my field, and that was freaky to me because it was just falling out of the sky. I was like, what the fuck? Really slow boot times, so when it drops out, it tries to regain or restart the system and try to gain the signal back. It would just fall out of the sky. It was so long, horrible, and the system now is still the same. I mean, yeah, you can have a bunch of remotes on at the same time, but it doesn't account for brownouts or dead zones in certain locations. So if you're a close flyer, then that's fine, but just keep that in mind. FR Sky has been solid the whole entire time. Like, it's this fucking awesome system, and it works really, really good. So I have like a lot of the older RXs that are still functioning, and they work really good. So since I started, so now I've learned that the system has been holding very strong, and it works really, really good. And so that's what I use now. I've seen some other FR Sky systems that have been out, like the smaller version, which look cool. They're really, they're cheaper. I think they're going to serve a purpose. So if you guys want to save more money, look at the new FR Sky systems. Really cheap. You can find, your local hobby shop. I said this on my last one, but make sure you support your local shop if they're around you. If they don't have the parts or product that you want, then you ask them if they're not going to work. If they don't want to work with you, then you obviously got to go online and do it. But just keep that in mind. Getting started it's difficult. There's a lot of hurdles and bullshit you got to go through, and hype that you got to go through. So I'm hoping I can help you guys out. So the FR Sky, keep that in mind. There's tons of stuff that you can do with it. You can pimp it out, you can color it, and it's just really easy to use once you get the hang of it. There's like a plus version. I think I still have an older version, but you can play with the firmware and stuff like that. You can pimp out the speakers so it's like really, really loud. That's what I did on the FR Sky system. The Tyrannus. That's the new one. That's what I probably should have said, Tyrannus, huh? But the antenna on the Tyrannus is upgradable. It's a little tricky, but if you're confident and your soldering skills get better, you can upgrade the antenna to get a little bit higher dB antenna. It's a little bit better range, so it's a little bit more versatile. There's so much stuff. There's literally so much stuff that I can probably dive into, but I just want to make sure I can hit the product and from where I started and to where I'm at now and why I use it. So I can totally ramble off on some shit. Trust me. It's very easy for me to do because I like to talk, and even though there's nobody here that I can talk to, I'm thinking that you guys are there listening and are interested into what I have to say. But even if you're not, it's okay. It helps me vent too. I promise. There's a lot of information out there, and I'm hoping you guys don't get confused. So, still hands down, the Free Sky or FR Sky system, the Tyrannus, is still the king of remotes. Spectrum has not even, they just got the Spectrum, the remotes, the new ones now, they're just pretty. That's all they are. They're fatter, they're bigger. You cannot put the new modules in the back. So you can't jump around. If you want to use Dragon Link or any other system out there, you have to hack into the battery and then pipe it into another remote. It sucks. And that's just not a feature that I want to do. I definitely don't want to tap into the battery or drill a hole in the back of the battery compartment. It's just not for me. And since they haven't upgraded their system, their protocols, I'm just not even going to worry about it. It's totally off my radar. But hands down, the Taranis is the sickest system out there. TBS has a system out there. It's like the Tango or something. It's cool. Looks like a remote, but still not for me. My biggest thing would be the screen getting damaged. It's just, you're paying for. We're pretty rough with our remotes, and so I don't want a screen. And then picture yourself standing out in the sun all the time, and the sun's just going to rot that LCD screen. And then what happens? That very delicate LCD screen that's producing your video is going to get fatigue, going to get spots, and then you're stuck. So the Taranis right now is totally fine, good price. The RXs are dirt cheap. You can get them on Amazon and stuff like that. So it's just a good system. Gimbals are upgradable. Like I said before, the speakers are upgradable. Just a really good system out there. There's some other transmitters that are out there, but I have not got my hand on them. The new Horuses are out there. What else? There's the Jetties are out there. Those are like $1,200 plus because those are badass systems. I don't think I'll ever own one because can't afford it, but they look cool. Let's put it that way. Definitely on the wish list. What else are out there? Futaba. I hope Futaba will be able to compete with the market. Futaba is a really nice system. I think it's their FSS system. If you guys are Futaba owners, you guys will know what I'm talking about. It's a really nice system. It's very fast. I think maybe it's called Fast. You know what I mean. If you're a Futaba owner, you know what I mean. And then there's JR. I haven't seen anything from JR yet, so I'm kind of curious to see what they're brewing in the background. But definitely Taranis is king of the remotes out there. Definitely has my vote for sure. It's just a kick-ass remote. So totally usable. I own two. One's a backup. So I love the system. It's just awesome. Good price. I've beaten mine up. Mine have been, I might need to replace the buttons or get it hydro dipped or replace some of the little knobs up top are kind of rusting, so it might be time to do that. But that's as far as remotes go. I think that'd be it. That's the quick podcast that I can give you guys. Hopefully you guys are out there who are listening and get a good idea. And again, I'm hoping it helps. That's the whole point of this, because I can't do YouTube video. Well, I could probably do a YouTube video, but the thing is, I don't like to look at my face. I'm a weird looking dude. I don't like to look at my face. That's just me. Some people don't like to be in front of the camera. I mean, I can, but it's just weird. Like when I'm talking, I'm looking at myself, just like eyeballing myself, like, damn, you're sexy. No, but I'm just looking weird. This is me. I just don't like to do that. But so I'm going to do it this way. That way you guys can listen and I can get your full attention so I can massage your brain and get up in those little crinkles and just, hopefully I can help you drop them little hints, and you can use your own personal judgment to figure out what you want and what works best for you. And I'm going to end it here. And with the video of the week, I'm going to bring you this one. This one's from Just 70, Justin. I was able to meet this cat in Hawaii in 2015 when we did the Drone Nationals FPV Paradise Tour, and it was pretty kick-ass. Hopefully you guys can check out my webpage or my YouTube page. You guys can find the tour there. Everyone was there. So I got to meet Justin there. He was super humble, super nice, just a chill individual, and I followed him. This is like the OG guy. Big ups to the OGs out there. You guys are awesome. So this video here is called FPV Maybe. He got the long hair in this one. He's flying, just chilling. He's got got an old cinema quad up there, and it's, what can I say? It's just 70, man. Check out his other stuff. Subscribe to his channel. Give him a thumbs up. Check out all his older stuff, his older content, man. It's good. He's an OG, man. Straight up flow. He's got this. So check him out. With that, guys, I'm going to end it here. And until next time, guys, on FPV RAW.